A billionaire returned home early from a business trip and caught his wife in an intimate moment with a strange man. Instead of confronting them on the spot, he quietly snuck into the bedroom and witnessed the chaotic scene inside. Rage consumed him instantly, yet he managed to contain his anger until that evening when his wife returned home. She was a bit surprised, thinking her husband wasn't due back until the following week. Ethan, the billionaire, offered no explanation. He simply embraced her with a big hug and professed his deep love for her. However, the moment his wife turned around, Ethan decisively raised his gun and ended her life. The butler outside heard the gunshots and urgently knocked on the door to inquire about the situation. Ethan fired 3 shots towards the window, sending the butler fleeing in terror. Then, the man repositioned his wife's corpse, picked up the shell casings, wiped them clean, and tossed them back on the floor. He removed his bloodstained coat and burned it in the fireplace before meticulously washing away all traces of the crime from his body. Yet, he was in no rush to leave. He was waiting for a particular police officer. When the police arrived, he demanded to negotiate only with Officer Max, the very man who was his wife's lover. As Max entered the room, Ethan brazenly confessed to shooting his wife dead. The moment Max realized the victim's identity, he lunged at Ethan, beating him in a frenzied rage until the other officers sensed something amiss and rushed inside. Upon examination, they discovered that the wife still had a faint pulse. They hurriedly rushed her to the hospital for emergency treatment while arresting Ethan on the spot. Sitting in the police car, Ethan smiled at Max as if everything was going according to his plan. Soon, the prosecutor's office brought Ethan to trial on charges of attempted murder. The case seemed straightforward. The defendant had signed a confession and hadn't even hired a defense attorney, essentially giving up on his defense. However, despite the seemingly irrefutable evidence, securing a conviction proved difficult. None of the 4 shell casings found at the crime scene had Ethan's fingerprints. Moreover, Ethan's hands showed no traces of gunpowder residue, and his clothes were spotless, devoid of any bloodstains. The evidence was insufficient to form an effective indictment. But this was only the beginning of Ethan's revenge.